King Arthur and His Knights by Elizabeth Lodor Merchant. We are continuing with the Witchery of Nimue. "Great wizard," she said, putting her little hand in his. Come away with me to Brittany. Come to Broceliande. Broceliande? However that's supposed to be pronounced. Merlin laid his arm around her shoulders. "If I should go with you to Broceliande," he said, "I do not think I should ever come back again." Never mind, she whispered the fairy, patting the old man's hand. "Only come." She drew him across the dim, dewy meadows until they reached the seashore. There, under the stars, a little boat was rocking, one of the fairy boats that belong to the ladies of the lake. "Come," whispered Vivienne once more, and this time Merlin consented without another word. So they sailed away to Brittany and to Broceliande, where the green tree grew over the magical fountain that Gawain and only Gawain had found. But the lady of the lake knew every inch of the ferny path that led to it, and she drew Merlin toward it, and she gathered the magic fern seeds and tossed them playfully about him. It is the eve of St. John. Probably Auralitha Eve would have been more likely, but again, Christian holiday is a few days later, a week before, the seasonal points. But anyways, the fern seeds would make even a human being invisible. What will they do to you, do you think? But Merlin only smiled at her in the moonlight without answering, and they went on side by side. Then before them they saw white thorn bushes glimmering pale, and above the bushes the tall green tree. They reached the fairy fountain and sat down beside it. "See," said Vivienne, "here are the white marble slab and the silver bowl, fastened by the silver chain. But no knight is guarding the fairy well tonight." "Why should it be guarded?" asked Merlin, laying his hand on the marble. "The fountain is mine, has always been mine. The secrets of its waters are mine. The white stone is mine. See, my name is written there." Vivienne looked, and to her amazement she saw letters of gold appear just for a moment on the marble slab. "I am the stone of Merlin." And certainly, whether these things are psychologically represented or whether they're a shrine available to those who visit it, it's yours, it's everyone's. They shone there, exactly like the letters on the Seat Perilous, and then they faded away. The fairy drew nearer to the wizard, and he laid one hand on her hair, while with the other he fingered the silver bowl. "Are all the secrets of fairyland yours, Merlin?" "Most of them, sweet lady of the lake, most of them. They are strange secrets, but the greatest of all lies under that stone." "What is it? Tell me. What is it?" "It is the secret of sleep," said Merlin dreamily. "Of sleep that can make a man lie and dream from day to day, from month to month, from year to year. I could almost wish I were folded in such a strange, sweet sleep." "Tell me," said the fairy again. "Tell me." She was eager to know, half from curiosity, half from the desire for power. And so Merlin told her, at last, the song and the dance that would draw from that mysterious stone its great secret of unending sleep. Then the fairy stood up, and, while he watched her still dreamily, she began to sing very softly, and to weave a fairy ring all about the tired old wizard, and the white marble slab, and the magic pool. And as she sang and danced, Merlin's weary eyes closed, and his head drooped low on his chest, down which streamed his long white beard. Then a little silver mist, like pearly air, crept up from the fountain and out from beneath the fairy stone. And the magician's head bent lower and lower until at last he lay beside the mysterious fountain, and Broceliande, fast asleep. Vivienne stopped singing and dancing and stood looking at him in the moonlight, her eyes more like green water than ever. The leaf shadows flickered over her and over the sleeping wizard, and the pearly mist grew thicker. At last the dew from it seemed to sprinkle the fairy's hair, and she laughed, for it reminded her of her own lovely lake. So gathering her gleaming robes around her, she slid away like a silver shadow back to her own enchanted waters, leaving Merlin sleeping soundly and calmly in the fairy mist under the tall green tree. So if you call up and work with the jinn as such, well, encountering the jinn is different than sorcery, as it would be said, but sorcery upon the sorcerer.